According to data from the General Statistics Office in 2018, revenue from accommodation and catering services is estimated at over 540,000 billion VND. In particular, revenue from accommodation and catering services increased by 9.1%. Tourism travel revenue increased by 14.1%. Other service revenue increased by 9.8% compared to 2017. This figure demonstrates the role of accommodation establishments in the overall development of the tourism industry, especially in the context of globalization and international integration, when the number of tourists coming to Vietnam is increasing and it is expected to continue to increase. The demand for quality of accommodation services, especially with the luxury hotels, are growing. This fact requires investors, hotel owners to quickly innovate to keep up with the trend of smart tourism, apply new technology of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 in the direction of modern, convenient, and complete services.
Hello everyone, glad to see you again in Sharing Vietnam on VTC Television channel. As you know, the hospitality industry is one of the fastest growing industries in the world in general, and in Vietnam in particular. What actions have hotels taken to keep up with the fourth industrial revolution? Today, let's consult Mr. Johan Linh Hung, CEO of Path Hotels and Resorts. Hello, Mr. Johan. Thank you for joining us today. As one of the person who has much experience working in the hospitality industry in many countries around the world, could you please share your opinion about the development of the hospitality industry in Vietnam at the moment?
I came to Vietnam in February of 2015 and started working for a Vietnamese company who at the time only had 4 hotels, and today they have over 25. Mm-hmm. So, the industry has a rapid growth, and the growth is due to many factors. You have a lot more tourists coming. Tourists are actually coming back to Vietnam now, where in the past, Thailand saw a 9 to 10 ratio where 9 tourists came back a second time. But Vietnam only saw a 1 or 2 ratio. But that's rapidly growing now due to not just more hotel rooms, but due to more exposure to Vietnam in many different countries. I talk to my mom often in Sweden, for example, and Johan, there's another article about Vietnam. It's Sapa, it's Phu Quoc, it's Nha Trang. So Vietnam has done a very good job in marketing themselves as a destination around the globe. But also things that have changed is visas are getting easier to get for certain countries. The airports are expanding in many cities. So there's a lot of infrastructure that's been made in order for us to accommodate more tourists. And at the same time, the investment side of the industry has also become easier for foreign investors. And in 2010, there was only 30 international brands in Vietnam in the hospitality industry. In 2017, there were 80.
The number of international tourist arrivals to Vietnam increased sharply in 2018. So is that the reason for the positive growth of the hospitality industry in Vietnam in recent years?
The answer is yes. The Vietnamese government also had a very detailed plan about what they wanted to do with the tourism from 2018 to 2030. And in that plan, there's a lot of infrastructure that they actually have initiated. And if you look at Da Nang, for example, Da Nang has a very interactive tourism department within the city of Da Nang that do a lot of promoting of not just Da Nang, but Vietnam in general. And then combined with the environment for foreign investors, combined with the visa requirements, all these factors are impacting why people are coming.
As you know, the fourth industrial revolution is taking place vigorously all over the world, and its impacts on industries is undeniable. So what are its impacts on the hospitality industry in particular?
With the augmented reality on websites are now bringing you a whole different sense and feel of destinations. And people around the world can almost touch what they're going to see. And that side is bringing the resort much closer to the customer at the decision phase. Where in the past, we depended just on a 3D image and people had to do a lot more research. But now they can actually, via their smartphone, the 4.0 is definitely impacting on how the hospitality industry is selling, but also it's impacting how we can train our team. In the past, you had to do a lot of sessions, meeting room sessions and training, where today you can actually do it via 4.0 and a lot of smartphones, yeah? And in today's environment, everyone has a smartphone. And you start now seeing in the hospitality industry virtual concierge, you start seeing the phones being the door key. There's a lot of things happening right now.
Instead of using traditional form of promotion, today hotels in Vietnam have provided visitors with vivid and complete information through websites, online booking pages, even helping customers have experiences and try services based on virtual reality technology. That is also the reason that many customers now choose to book online.
Mình rất là thích đi du lịch cả ở tại Việt Nam và ở nước ngoài nữa, thì trước khi mà đi thì bao giờ mình cũng phải đặt phòng khách sạn trước, và mình luôn tìm thông tin về khách sạn trên các cái kênh booking online. Thì ở trên đó họ cung cấp rất là đầy đủ thông tin về khách sạn này, về giá này, kể cả là về những cái địa điểm ở xung quanh khách sạn để mà mình có thể khám phá được nữa. Thì sau khi mà tìm hiểu thông tin thì mình sẽ quyết định lựa chọn là đặt khách sạn nào ở cái địa điểm mà mình đến. Thì mình thấy là các cái kênh đặt phòng online như vậy nó rất là tiện và hỗ trợ rất là nhiều cho khách hàng. Kể cả việc mình có thay đổi gì về cái booking của mình, như là mình yêu cầu phòng không hút thuốc hay là thêm giường phụ ấy, thì người ta cũng hỗ trợ rất là nhanh.
Hiện tại các khách sạn của Việt Nam cập nhật khá là nhanh. Tất cả những cái xu hướng về công nghệ hỗ trợ tốt hơn cho khách hàng trong việc đặt phòng online, và thậm chí là kể cả các khách sạn, rất là nhiều khách sạn nhỏ, các khách sạn tư nhân của Việt Nam lại làm những cái việc thực hiện cái việc cập nhật những cái xu hướng công nghệ rất là tốt. Và thực ra thì điều đó mình nghĩ là sẽ có lợi cho cả hai bên, cả về phía khách hàng và cả phía khách sạn. Mình nghĩ thì đây tiếp tục sẽ là một cái xu hướng phát triển tiếp theo, không chỉ trên thế giới mà cả Việt Nam nữa.
However, to be able to keep up with the pace of the 4.0 revolution is a big challenge for accommodation establishments in Vietnam, because modernization must inevitably go hand in hand with a relatively large investment in technology, machinery and equipment, and a highly qualified workforce. Many experts believe that 4.0 will affect the labor market in the hospitality industry, because when automation technology is applied, some of the hotel service jobs are replaced by robots, job opportunities become less, criteria for assessing the capacity in this field also change. Facing this changing trend, workers also need to equip necessary knowledge and skills.
Is the application of booking websites and apps a good way to, bring customers closer to hotels?
Absolutely, and I think that's one side where artificial intelligence and even augmented reality is really working together in order to get the customer to understand and really know what they're getting when they're hitting the buy button. In the 90s, the hotel industry was talking about the impact that travel agents had and how much the travel agent dictated the occupancy in the hotels. Today, we're talking about the online travel agents, the OTAs, and how they are impacting. And of course, now with the 4.0, I can also very quickly interact with my customers, put offers out, and get an immediate impact. So the 4.0 is really, on the sales side, is really assisting us to drive more of our customers to directly dealing with the hotel. But from a training standpoint and an employee standpoint, it's allowing us to look at the customer feedback, because that's also another part of 4.0. Now I can gather feedback from all sites in one site, yeah? So I can see on a daily basis what's going on. So now I can take that information and custom tailor it to the training and hit the training exactly where it's needed.
Around the world are using robots and applying management software with artificial intelligence. What do you think about that?
I think it's very cool to have a concierge robot. I think it's very cool to have it as a talking point. Do I think that it's perfected yet? Not really. When people travel, people want to experience culture too. And until they know how to make a robot really interact with the culture, that's when I get worried about not needing people anymore. I think having the combination with the robot and people, it's great. If you have a robot concierge, you can go there at any time of the day, any time of the night, and get the answer to the question you want. But you still need the human touch, I think, in order to complete your experience at this point.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Does the technology 4.0 affect the personnel of hotels, and how could hotels address that problem?
I think it affects hotels in certain departments. In the past, the management softwares were not as sophisticated and didn't use artificial intelligence, but in today's environment, energy is a big cost for a hotel. And the newer softwares now really helps us to control that energy cost, because they know when the customer is in the room, they know when the customer leaves. So it's easy to control in and out temperatures. And you know, when you decrease a temperature in a hotel room by 1 or 2 degrees, so certain departments, yes, you will see a reduction in staff. Now it gives an opportunity more to marketing departments, strategic planning departments. So there are other departments that need additional staff. So I think in general, 4.0 will help the hotel run more efficiently and put the staff really where the staff needs to be compared to in the past. I also think that 4.0 is not a negative to our industry, because a lot of people are saying it's going to take people's jobs. Yeah? In some departments, yes, it will impact the staffing models. However, it creates opportunities in other departments where we're going to need more people now. So it's just shifting your workforce a little bit. So I think the hotel companies that are embracing the 4.0 are the ones that are going to excel a lot faster than others.
Last question. What are your predictions about the future of the hospitality industry in Vietnam?
I think Vietnam is looking at a very prosperous future in the hospitality industry, and we are not at the peak yet. We're still going to see a lot more development. 4.0 and the investment side, all those sides are working at a rampant speed. The one caution I have is that unless we address the need for the skilled labor for the hospitality industry, that's the one thing that can slow down the growth.
Thank you, Mr. Johan Lindholm, for all of your sharing today. That's all we have for this episode of Sharing Vietnam Today. For any question, please email sharingvietnam@netvietTV.net. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.